Hello, everybody. This is Rich, and you're watching me play tabletop RPGs with super cool people. This is part of the Intercontinental Group of Awesome. We have people from Europe, different parts of Europe, as well as from different parts of America. It's almost like, actually, I think the Americans outnumber the Europeans for this game, and it's the first time ever. I actually, it's equal. Thanks for people doing that.
Well, it's okay because you're cool now, so.
Well, there was two jewels earlier, so you guys had it, and then now it's equal. So meeting the minds of I've done. We are going to be playing. So everybody wants to play Apocalypse World, but I decided to charge them a tax. I kind of blame Andrea for maybe talking me into this tax, but we're going to be playing Wandering Monster High School. Wandering Monsters High School is a game that was kickstarted in 2011. It had 54 backers. So I'm not saying that I'm kind of elite, but I'm kind of one of those 54 backers. And the game came out in 2012, and I'm sure there are a number of other people, because it did win an ENnie award, which comes out from EN World for Best New Game. So I'm thinking more than 54 people own it. But I'm kind of an OG here, and I have never gotten to play it, ever. So I've pitched it to a lot of people. Everybody said they were interested, but it's never happened until I said, okay, I'm holding Apocalypse World for ransom. And somehow that seemed to work. Not only did it worked in spades, because one person already came in like fully formed with an awesome character idea. We'll talk about that in just a minute. This is character creation, which is a little lengthy. There are a lot of little bits for this game. We're going to be playing for about 3 sessions. And when I say about 3, I mean exactly 3 sessions. This is wholly going to be character creation, though. And then once we're done with that, we'll stop, and then we'll pick up and play next week. And unfortunately, one player will not be able to attend that, but her character will be out sick or something. We'll figure it out. So let me introduce all the awesome people who are part of our group. The first one is Andrea. How are you doing, Andrea?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. I quickly mentioned that Andrea played host to 3 of the other people here who came to America for a Midwest tour, because when you come to America, the Midwest is definitely where you want to go for something. But anyway, next we have Jan. How are you, Jan?
I am very good, thank you. And it was a pleasure meeting you all face to face.
It was a pleasure getting neck pain looking up at how tall you are.
Sorry, 6'4".
Well, it's my fault for not growing more. I should have taken more of the drugs or something. But we got to play the Warren, and it was a super awesome experience. You were a great rabbit. Hobbs will forever live in my memory. Yona, how are you doing, Yona?
I am fine, and it was so amazing to get to meet you all. And now that I see you, I missed you guys.
Same.
I do.
Whenever I drink tea, I think of you all. And I don't drink tea. I just drink water flavored with Mio, but it's sweet tea flavored. It's the same thing, right?
It is. Totally.
And then we have Jules. How are you, Jules?
Hey, I'm in the living room. I'm very good. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm looking
we had a weird hangout thing where normally Jan and Jules will be in the same room, but they do like a mute, like quasi-mute thing, so you don't hear weird echoes, and we couldn't get it fixed. So Jules volunteered to move, and Jan
Fix it, Google.
stay. Well, it's part of Google Plus, and Google Plus is going the way of Buzz, so.
Thanks, Obama.
And then we have our new member. Now, those of you who've checked out all the awesome Crossroads stuff, you will totally recognize Mick Bradley. How are you, Mick?
I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you?
Oh, it's so great. It's so great. Oh, I'm so excited to have Mick on. Mick and I got to hang out quite a bit at Origins, and I said, Sundays, we could maybe figure a way for you to play with us. He said,
it's a deal, yes.
He says, I'll check my schedule. I don't know, Rich.
No.
All right. So Wandering Monster High School. Let me give you guys the pitch, mostly because I think this is pretty hilarious. So Wandering Monster High School is a game that's going to be semi-humorous, but we're not going to go totally gonzo. By gonzo, I mean we're going to try to tell stories about characters that we find interesting, because I think we can't help it. This group is awesome. We're not just going to make jokes for the sake of jokes and sit here and yuck it up and do Monty Python quotes and all that lame crap that you can see at a game where you're like, this is funny, and by funny it means there's no semblance of story. So we'll see how this goes. I think we did great when we've run other games that are semi-humorous. The Wandering Monster High School is a fantasy RPG set in a world of magic and of mystery, of dragons and dungeons. A few years ago, a group of evil overlords and power-mad wizards decided they had a need for a higher caliber of minion. Henchmen who could actually read the labels on potion bottles. Hirelings who wouldn't accidentally sack the wrong town. Cohorts who didn't have to constantly be told how to kill the heroes, but could, think on their own. And that's why Wandering Monsters High School was born. It's a preparatory school for monsters of all kinds, preparing them for glorious careers as antagonists. So yes, this is set in a world like Forgotten Realms, or potentially Dragonlance, or other, the world of 13th Age. All those things that have those classic kind of D&D monsters. Except we flipped the script, and the player characters are all monsters who are attending a high school. And this high school is a well-kept secret. It is safely nestled within a small valley, and there's a great deal of magics here to allow the students to be safe from attack, even if they're discovered. And all of this is just a neat little setup to have the idea of some crazy, weird creatures, like a little Hotel Transylvania, a little bit of, I'm just trying to think of some other, what are some other inspirations you guys take when you were looking over the book? Were there any movies or shows that you were thinking about? Silence. No one was
I don't know. For me, in my head, I got Revenge of the Nerds meets D&D.
That's pretty great. Revenge of the Nerds meets D&D. I think the Goonies, there's a little bit of Goonies in here, the Misfits, Oddballs working together, the school-based stuff of Breakfast Club and a lot of the John Hughes films, but probably a little bit more on the screwball comedy edge. It's a lot of Saturday morning cartoons that have dip their toes into the whole weird aliens attending high school type deal, and so there's rich fodder. But if there are any touchstones for me that you guys have that you want to bring up as we're creating characters, like this character is like so and so, then feel free to. Cool. All right, everybody got the concept down? Any outline questions for just what we're about to do? All right, good. All right, so we are going to jump down to create characters because that's why we're here. All right, so the first thing you want to do, and we can do this out of order, but I'm going to use the book as our guide. So it says to name your student. Now, Jan, let's go ahead and hear about what you've got so far for your character because it's awesome.
As soon as you mentioned this game, the first thing that came into my head was a bespectacled beholder, and then I found out that the rules actually allow for that to happen. And yes, I am a nerdy beholder, wearing glasses, as you can sort of see in the picture. Like it's one big glass, and then some smaller glasses mounted on top of it for the other eyes to look through. And yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd, probably.
That is awesome. That is spectacular. Now, everybody else is taking a look at the species. I listed out the species. So now, Beholder isn't technically part of the species that were created for Wandering Monsters High School, but there are some really easy character creation tips or species creation tips. And Jan's picture was awesome. He was so excited. So we kind of bent the rules or used the rules to create that. But everybody else, I gave them a list of the kind kind of pre-done species to get them started. So, Andrea, what were you interested in playing?
I am playing a troll.
Yes, a troll. That's great. And by troll, we don't need an internet troll who jumps on fora and goes people into bad actions. By troll, you mean the giant green regenerating creatures, right?
Oh, yes. Although I might jump on the internet and harass some people. It could be a thing.
The magical internet. We'll have to figure out if there is an
Crystal
internet.
balls.
Ooh, I love it. So when you picture your troll, first of all, do you have? And by the way, what's another cool thing I like about Wandering Monster High School is that while there's a part of the character creation that says gender, it really doesn't. Like, it's up to you. You could be male, female. It even says you could be asexual, you could be some third or fourth gender, whatever you're comfortable with is very open-minded, because when you have beholders and trolls going to school together, why shouldn't you be open-minded? But did you have like a look in mind for your troll?
Yeah, I'm just trying to put the finishing touches on Photoshop.
Oh man, that's a very complex program that had to have taken millions of lines of code.
Well, million and one, actually.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so while you're touching up that picture, do you have an idea of what year you're in? So it's a 4-year high school. There's first year freshman, second year sophomore, third year junior, and fourth year senior. And after senior, you either graduate or you're, not allowed to graduate, which is less than ideal. The only thing that means is that the juniors and seniors get access to taking an elective because your classes are part of how you have edges and bonuses to do things. So did you have an idea of what year your troll is in?
I would like to be a second-year student, please.
Okay. You are foolishly wise then.
I'm glad to hear it.
All right, so I am going to jump in. Andrea, I don't see where you started one, and we'll just go ahead and change that. Now, I have linked in the Hangout invite the spreadsheet that we are using, and I'll have that in the YouTube video, so if you're not watching this directly from the Hangout invite, that's cool, and you can go and take a look at the characters if you're so inclined. So, Jan, did you have a year for Rodney in mind?
Not at all, because you mentioned something about that we would have the same home class, and I didn't know what that meant because we don't have anything like that, so I was like, I'll just leave that open for now.
That is perfectly acceptable. So here is the deal. Monster Hearts is a super awesome game, and it has a thing where there's a homeroom created for the group, and that assumes that everybody's in the same grade, more or less. What I was thinking would be interesting is if you have a homeroom, but it's like alphabetized or from a certain region. So if everybody ends up not alphabetized, like the names are nowhere, because we have a Dira and we have a Puff from what I'm seeing. So we're going to say you're all from the same general region of the world. So you're from the southern region, and that's how your homeroom is. So everybody, you can be different years. I just like the idea of there's a place where you meet before you go out into all of your classes in case people are taking all kinds of different classes, and we do some class-related fun. So choose whatever year you would like, Jan. Okay, while you're thinking about that, I'll jump over to Yona. Yona, you were talking about a ghost. Tell us a little bit about her or him.
I don't know so much about her yet. I will be wiser in 2 hours or 1.5.
Cool. Okay, what race was she, or what species was she before she was killed?
Can I just play a human?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what I'm going to go with, because I'm searching for pictures and I found some cool pictures already. So
awesome. What did she do in her life?
What did she do?
Was she a serf, like a commoner? Was she an adventurer? Was she a noblewoman? A musician?
I am thinking that she was pretty young when she died, and probably she was like a rebellious teenager, not really, I hate school, all that kind of stuff, and then suddenly she was dead and everything was different.
That's awesome. Good. That's a great it's a great kickoff point. So, Jules, what about you? What are you leaning towards from a species?
I would like to be a medusa.
Oh, that's so great. So the medusas have petrification, but due to the magics of the school, it is not permanent. It's pretty much will kind of stun somebody, which is great because then people actually look at you, which you shouldn't get used to because once you graduate.
It's very sad. And I'm a freshman.
You are! That's so great!
I'm a tiny, cute little medusa.
Cool. Then Nick, tell us about your you playing a dragon?
I am. I'm playing a dragon. Puff is a junior, third year dragon who probably could do a lot of really successful things with his life if it wasn't for the fact that he has a tendency to hang out under the stairs with the other burnouts and smoke a lot of weed.
Oh, that's awesome! And
You're so cool.
And by smoke, we really mean smoke.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. So, all of you, in talking about your characters, you've given me a great look into your niche. So, the niche is kind of the next part after you talk about your year and your species. And according to that, the niche, to me, I think that is almost like an aspect of your character, and maybe even your high concept, right? If to speak in Fate language, and to not speak in Fate language, is a trait. So it is a word or short phrase that describes the role that you play in the school's ecosystem, like popular cheerleader, burnout, brainy social outcast, awkward nerd, which I see y'all's already got for his beholder, which is perfect. And what that does is the niche is it gains an edge for you, and we'll talk about that when we go over how the mechanics work. But it gives you a benefit when you roll dice and try to determine if a good thing happens or not. Cool. All right, and the next piece is your clique or your clique. That's the group that your student hangs out with. I would love it if at least we could draw a couple parallels where some cliques are together. Maybe we have a couple people in the same clique, but I'm not going to determine that because we'll just work around it. It just means there'll be less time with clique-oriented type stuff. But cliques they're established cliques, so you can create your own. Let's see, you can all belong to the same clique if you want, and then we could dispense with the homeroom thing, and that would just be the unifying piece about you guys. Any ideas around cliquishness?
There's always school newspaper.
Oh, school newspaper.
That's the only
kind
cross.
of a cool idea.
Yeah, that gives us lots of options.
I can see my character in a school newspaper.
And just to go over, and the newspaper is definitely part of this, but there are established cliques or cliques. The in crowd, they're based at the tavern in the village, which is just outside of the high school. The PC Heifer Horde originally was organized by Minotaurs who weren't allowed to hang out with the in crowd. They're welcoming to anyone who feels outcast because their species or social class. The P&P Guild, which is based around an extracurricular activity, which is playing the Papers and Paychecks role-playing game. Which is that role-playing game is about people who are playing office workers in this weird futuristic environment.
I'm sure Rodney is totally into that.
Oh, yes.
He totally is. He actually has it as... He has already picked that as an extracurricular activity, so that makes sense. The school newspaper staff. The school newspaper has a great name that is not on the little part right here, so I'll find it. I think it's called Random Encounters. Yes, there's lots of great little jokes. The Undead Throng. So that probably wouldn't work because we just have one undead. The Loners. Which are the loners, they're a clique about nothing. They get together behind the gym to not interact with each other, usually just standing around looking cool. Sorry.
All right.
Why does that crack me up so much? Oh man. So so I see Puff is a member of the school newspaper. Does anyone rally around that, or do we have some other? Because if we had two people in the school newspaper, and maybe two people were part of another clique, that would be kind of cool.
I can
Well,
also
I
be
mean,
in this.
I put that down because I thought we had consensus. But if we don't, I'll go with the consensus.
Is
Are
there
we
a,
also-
is there a cheerleader team? Because I see we have a cheerleader. Is there a sports team or something?
I mean, I could totally be in the PMP guild, so, but I'm also fine with all being in the same clique. That works too.
Yeah, are we supposed to be all part of the same clique or broken up?
No, that is an option.
Overlapping.
Oh,
But
okay.
overlapping is good, right?
Exactly. All I'm asking for is if we could have a total of 3 cliques, if that's possible. So maybe 2 people member one clique, 2 people member another clique, and 1 person member their own clique. Just because it's going to be easier for me to set up scenes with multiple people rather than having to go one person.
Oh yes, I think for me it makes most sense to be in the PMP guild.
Yes.
That's great.
I can do the school newspaper as well. Yay,
Okay.
school newspaper.
Yay!
Ah, the wrong kind of in. I see.
In crowd.
Ah,
I know. Sorry.
it's fantastic.
The student paper has gone by a number of names since the founding of the school, such as Encounter Check, The Wanderer, The Wandering Monster High School Times, and The Daily Monster. Each new editor-in-chief will typically change the name and start over, the issue numbering. But I yeah, so great. Cool. All right, so we've got 2 people in the school newspaper, Adira, the
3.
ghost.
Oh,
and Puff.
3.
And we
Yes.
have 3. That's fantastic. Excellent.
Huh.
And now, Andrea, I see some development on your troll. Do you want to tell us a little bit about her? Because someone mentioned cheerleader, and that tickles me to know it.
Oh yeah. So July is a cheerleader. She's kind of an airhead, so I'm going to be putting on my Valley Girl voice.
Yes!
Yay! Oh God, this could end poorly. But she is, she's definitely one of the leaders in the school's wardrobe/fashion department. So they have to approve everything that the in-crowd wears.
So good.
She's totally wearing a dress. You can't really see it in my little picture, but
Wait, I had to click on you so I could see the picture. Oh my goodness,
Oh,
she looks
wow.
terrifying. That is the best. That picture is
Photoshop
amazing.
the win.
Wait, is it gold or blue?
I'm not going to jump into the middle of that. If you can't tell, you're obviously not cool enough to be in the in-crowd.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. But that's hilarious. All right, cool. So we have the clicks. Now this is the next part, and it's going to take a little bit of time, but feel free to talk. Otherwise, this is going to be really boring video and boring for me. So you have grades. Okay, so the grades, they are assigned to several different areas. And what the grades do is they determine the number of 6-sided dice that you'll be rolling when that particular grade is applicable. So there's one grade called citizenship. That's how well you behave. You'll be rolling citizenship whenever there is a test that has to do with you interacting with the school's faculty, because that's how good you are with behaving, right? Fitness is the next. And that's your physical ability. So if you participate in a sport like Slamball or anything else that is active and physical, you'll be rolling your fitness dice. Hygiene measures your grooming skills as well as your ability to interact with other students. So this is kind of the cool stat. You could have a really high hygiene and a super low citizenship, and that means you're kind of like a punk, but everybody likes you because you're cool. You could flip that, and you could totally be the suck-up or the teacher's pet, and that means you've got a high citizenship, but possibly a low hygiene. So hygiene is your charisma among the other students. Occult is the next grade, and that measures how well your student understands arcane principles, and it's used for casting and understanding magic. Scholastics is your grade that measures, how smart you are in actual book learning, how well you read, how many languages possibly. They're made whenever you need to remember a fact or right as part of the newspaper. So probably not a bad idea to have a little bit of scholastics there. Vocational measures how well you've mastered practical arts, like crafting or looting. It's applied knowledge, and it can be used to a trade. And it can be help to determine where you're going to end up as well. And those are the grades: citizenship, fitness, hygiene, occult, scholastics, and vocational. So you have a number of grades ranked from F all the way up to A. If you have an F in something, that means you get 0 dice in it. If you have an A in something, you get 4 dice to it. I tried to create some conditional formatting to where you could just, you can just assign it. So you get to choose. There are several different strata. It's on page 15. Does anyone need access to the PDF? I
have
can
the
just
PDF
screen
in
share
front
if
of
you
me.
don't.
Got it up.
I
You guys
have
got
it.
it?
And I've even filled in my stats already.
You guys are way too fast. Stop that.
I'm sorry, I already did this like 2 weeks ago.
Whoa.
It
You
is
are the
okay,
teacher's
yeah.
I
pet.
am the teacher's pet.
Yes.
But I only took a B in citizenship, so,
So
That's
Yeah,
the
don't-
July and Grace are apparently more teacher's pet than I am. Just saying.
And I'm going to mute for a second because the ice cream.
Because ice cream truck.
ice cream truck. Hmm. It's so hard.
It is. Wait, but you already have all your stats.
Yeah, but I haven't actually. These are not one of the sets that we can put in.
Ah.
So I have to conform. Conform.
I took
Yeah, as a game master, I am called the headmaster, which is hilarious. And it even says in the book that no one has ever actually met the headmaster.
It's serious.
Yeah, so a lot of rumors about how horrifying headmaster may be. Who knows?
It's a Tarrasque. It has to be.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wait.
Oh
the
no!
school-
Now it's a Tarrasque.
The school is built on top of his back.
Yes. It's Tarrasques all the way down.
It's great. And one of the vice principals is the devil. So that's
Nice.
pretty fantastic. I love the faculty in this game. There's so much great bits.
I
The
should-
ogre coach is great. Coach is hilarious.
Yeah, I've seen some of the teachers that are in the.
It's neat. I like the way the breakdown of the grades work. If you want to have 3 A's, you have to take an F in something.
Yes.
If you want to build somebody who's like middle of the road, you can totally do that. And you have 4 B's and 2 C's. So there's lots of options to build a particular type of character. Oh my goodness, this picture is the best picture.
Yeah, if you could see your hands, I totally would have added pom-poms, but
No, I know pom-poms.
That'd be so great. I am going to
Oh,
add this
the medusa is
picture.
cute.
Medusa is the cutest. That's actually from a comic called Modest Medusa. It's really cute. It is really cute. Also, I want to be the school photographer because I can say freeze and people will actually do it.
That's really clever. That tickles me.
I also have petrification.
What?
Yeah, you guys have. Like,
Beholder! You know, one of my eyes does death, one of them does stone.
We are petrification buddies.
Modest Medusa, by the way, is by Jake Richmond, who created Tokyo Brain Pop, the totally fun game that Yona and Andrea and I played, and it
That
has great
was
art
fun.
in it too.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a
Mhm.
super cool game. All right, and
Whoa,
I think.
creepy ghost.
Oh, you look so dramatic.
Very dramatic. You look like you're into, I don't know,
You're-
dance.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I'm going to be adding links to these pictures in the student roster later because they're just too adorable and awesome.
Yes.
Whoa, Puff has like specialties to his grades.
What?
That's a thing? Is that a thing? What are you doing, Mick?
I'm just playing around, and it's
Silly is like
let's
a
hold up on
Slamball
that.
and
Those are
alchemy.
classes. We'll
stuff
talk about
there,
that.
so I'm filling it in. I don't know.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Some people are working ahead.
I haven't
appreciate
reached
the
that.
excitement.
I haven't reached that in the book yet.
I am holding off on the student goals. So you see in the character sheet we've got student goals, which I think are very cleverly created. I am going to hold off on the student goals until you guys kind of build the grades and classes you're going into, because the goals are really like, to me, it's like, hey, this is what I want to accomplish with the character. If you already have that in mind, that's totally cool. But let's go through classes. Classes are a little on the fiddly side in that there are some prerequisites and stuff like that, but I think they're super fun as well. So every term at Wandering Monster High, you enroll in 6 classes. Okay, each class is taught by a different department in the school and grouped by subject, as with grades. So what I've done is I've created a drop-down to show you all of the classes that are available underneath each of the grades. If you are a junior or a senior, you have the ability of not taking a class within one of your grades and then taking an elective, which is a little bit lower on the character sheet. You see that elective, I left that as an open space because with the elective you can take any class. The part that gets a little on the, I mean, I say fiddly, which sounds bad, but I don't think it's bad. It just means there's a little bit of build going on. You need to look at the actual classes as they're listed, because some of them have prerequisites within your year, or you have to have a certain grade in something to be able to get into that class. That starts on page 35, is the course catalog. So I'm going to give an example while you guys are working through that. So right now, there's a D in fitness for Adira. Oh my goodness, Adira. Ghosts, you're not very active, huh? Okay. Well, that's a bummer.
I'm a ghost. How fit can I be? I'm dead.
So
You keep not catching the ball. How can you not catch the ball?
goes right
Oh, you every time.
If everyone throws a ball at me, I don't have arms to catch it with.
Oh, we will be the last ones to be chosen to any team ever.
So awkward.
With Adira's D, am I saying it right, by the way, Yona? Is it
Yes.
Adira? Okay, Adira's D in fitness means she cannot choose combat and tactics as a class, because the prerequisites are having a B in and also being senior year, and Adira is she's fresh meat, so she's not able to take that class. In fact, the only fitness classes you could take are Expeditious Retreats, which is run by Coach Brunk, Intro to Wandering, also Coach Brunk. He has all the easy intro level courses because, he's mostly just there to look good and mash people. You couldn't take martial weapons. You could take riding, which would be interesting for a ghost. Self-defense is something that you could take, as well as simple weapons and Slamball or swimming. So there are a few classes you can take and a few you cannot with that D. Oh my goodness. Who is taking Slamball? Puff is in Slamball. That is the best thing. And creative writing. He's so well-rounded. Oh, is Puff a male? Because I want to make sure he's no gender term.
Yeah, Puff's a male.
All right, just making sure. Not saying that Puff's a girly name. I was just asking. All right, cool. All right, anybody have any specific questions about the classes? Is anyone taking an elective?
Yeah, I will
Who
be.
good Puff is, and nobody else can. Ha ha ha. You frosh and softs. Has Puff been held back any?
No.
Nice. Cool.
These classes are awesome.
They are
Oh
pretty
my
awesome.
gosh.
So I'm going to, while you guys are working through this, I'm just going to kind of read about
Yes.
some of them
I'm
aloud.
just looking at like the fitness classes, and none of them seem to fit because I'm a floating eyeball.
What? Intro
There's
to
no-
Wandering could totally fit you.
Yeah, Intro to Wandering.
Yeah, that's the only one that works, I guess, because the other ones are all like, yeah, no, that doesn't work.
There's a class Common as a second language. It's so cute.
Yes.
Yes. There are so many great. Yeah, the citizenship classes, there's basic studying skills, giving orders. library aid, obedience,
Yep, I'm in
study hall,
obedience.
teacher's aid.
I'm a teacher's aide.
That's perfect. Hygiene class, bathing, charms, cooking, health and wellness, Lair Economics, prestige and social hygiene. Occult classes, there's some pretty neat ones here. Alchemy, defense against the holy arts, demigods and deities, divination,
Holy arts, nice.
elemental magic, illusions, magic and you, which has no prerequisites. Magic missile is a whole class. Which if you take this class, you can cast magic missile once per day. Magic through the ages and the dark arts. We come to scholastics. There's some mathematics, ancient history. As you mentioned, common as a second language, common tongue, creative writing, draconic language. You could totally take that. If Puff took that, would be great.
What's treasure typing? It's a vocational class.
Ooh, that is a great question. Let me find that one real quick. Treasure typing, appraising items or sorting money. So this allows you to, Rufus Dark will be teaching this one. It helps you mind your pints and quarts while managing your personal finances. It's like economics. Oh, it's awesome. So what that's referring to is in old D&D treasure tables. They were lettered, and there was a table that you could roll on, and they were grouped by type. So that's what treasure typing means. So like you could have type G treasure, and that meant that you would roll on a chart with I'm totally riffing here, but like jewelry was in one, rings, staves, wands, and rods were all in another different treasure type. So that's what that's referring to. Potions and antidotes, music, metal shop, intro to pillaging. Someone should take that in vocational class. Advanced looting. Oh, this is the best. Wood shop. Oh, so good. Okay, everybody looks like they've got most of their classes chosen. Anyone need some help?
At least half.
Yeah, I'm only halfway done.
Okay. Well, it looks like you're both on occult.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's some pretty awesome occult ones.
Yeah, I'm sort of torn between divination and illusions at the moment for that.
I'm going with the
Think I'll
defense
go
against
for
the holy
divination.
arts because allergic to holiness. So
That's smart.
Divinations because I'm an eye.
Cool. I just want to point out that Andrea's troll, she's chosen to take an F in occult, which means she has no dice, and the class she's taking this semester is magic and
magic and how
goodness.
much it hates you.
4 people are in Lair Economics. That is amazing. Oh,
Wow.
so good. That's perfect. Do not change unless you really feel called to it. That's so great. That means I have to have scenes.
Paying any attention to what other people are doing, I'm gonna.
That's good. Yeah, make your own. Miss Kashika is the teacher of that one. She's pretty awesome. I like her a lot. Let's see. Miss Kashika is a dryad. She is the instructor for hygiene, and she's also an advisor for the cheerleading squad.
Yay.
So, winsome tree spirit who lives in the grove beside the swimming pool, teaches hygiene classes, popular with most of the students and looked up to by the cheerleaders, except for July, who is much taller than her, so she looks down on her. Awesome. Wow, those of you who are done can think of this. There is one aspect, I'm kind of skipping ahead, but for those who are done with classes, you can think about this. Within your school supplies, there is one school supply you need to think about, which is your status symbol. That's a specific, unique, on-campus item. Usually a pretty awesome edge, and it can be magical, like a fabled universal hall pass, or it could be an item of personal significance. And so what happens is if that's something you can bring into a scene, that would benefit you, it would make it much easier for you to be successful with that status symbol. If you need some examples of status symbols, because it's just not ringing a bell, hold on just a second. Alright, cool. It's not new to me, but he doesn't. On page 89, there are 3 sample characters. These school status symbols is one guy has the Slamball from the big game last year. The cheerleader character has pom-poms of power.
Pom-poms of power.
Yes, she's a golem. She's an iron golem.
Did you say 89?
Page 90 is where TaylorMade is. Yeah, it starts on page 89 of the PDF. But TaylorMade is the name of the Iron Golem cheerleader, because I love that name. And then the more magical-oriented Dark Elf, he has an alchemy kit of doom. There are a lot of O's, so I had to pronounce them correctly. Cool. All right. Take another glance here. Looks like almost all the classes are done. We just have one more class to fill in. Oh, so you're taking music, Puff? That's fantastic.
Yes.
I love it. So good. This game rocks. Okay, maybe I'm overselling. I'm having fun. All right. So this one, the next after classes is only this is an option for you guys. I mean, it's part of character creation, but we can come back to it if we want. There are gifts, talents, and special needs. So you can choose up to 2 additional gifts or up to 3 talents, but you can't have more than 6 gifts and talents combined. The species that you chose already come with some of them, so you've already marked those on your character, and that's great. We already kind of built the 3 edges or gifts that you have. Sorry, for Rodney. I started to say Roderick. Sorry. Yes. Rodney already has death ray petrification.
Roderick's his dad.
Roderick.
Well, to be very specific, my Roderick is my hive mother. I've been looking up stuff about beholders.
That is awesome.
They're not gendered.
Oh, cool. Do you have a preferred gender for Rodney?
No, but Rodney. So I'm guessing most people just go, "Hey, he did this."
Hey, dude.
I'm like,
sure.
What do you mean he?
Whatever. So you can choose different gifts. So the difference between gifts and talents. Let me try to explain that piece. Rich is skipping along in the book here. Sorry, guys.
So how many can we have again?
A total of 6 gifts and talents combined.
Okay.
So you could have 3 and 3. You could have 4 and 2. That kind of thing. All right. So gifts and talents. Gifts cover things. They're what make your character magical. So a gift is anything you were born with. A talent is something you may have developed along the way. Either way, they're just going to give you some benefits when you're rolling dice if so-and-so applies. They range from breath weapon to becoming immaterial, growing invisible, which works great for a ghost, night vision, petrification, unstoppable, telepathy. Those are some gifts. And then some of the talents are you have a familiar pet, you have your own minions, you're a natural athlete, you're popular, or you're maybe the teacher's pet. Those are some talents you have. And they're kind of listed as all one big group. Now, the way that they work is, I'm going to have to talk about the mechanics a little bit now. So what you do is when you're trying to accomplish a specific thing, and there are a few different ways that we can tweak with the roles, but it's always going to be you choose one of your grades, or I'll suggest this is the grade, unless you say, well, I'm going to try it like so-and-so, and we can negotiate a little bit. You roll the number of dice that are fit to that. So if it were a fitness test, say you're going to run down this example I tested out on my wife, so hopefully it'll make sense to you guys. So let's say you have a fitness that allows you 3 dice. That's a B. You have a fitness of B, and you're trying to run down the hall to avoid the gaze of a teacher who's the hall monitor. Right? So that would be a fitness test. You're going to roll 3 6-sided dice. So, see, Jules, I think you're mostly done. Can you bring up Dice Stream and we'll walk through this? So if you can bring up Dice Stream and then roll 3 6-sided dice. We're pretending now that the wonderful Medusa, known as Grace, I love that name. It's so adorable. So Grace is trying to run down the hall in this kind of example. So you're going to roll.
Running 3 6-sided dice.
You are rolling 3 6-sided dice. If you could roll that and then kind of keep it as is, you are looking for an 8. Okay, so that's great. You got a 4 and a 4. Everything above an 8 is a success. The lowest of the 2 dice. So can you use the little indicator thing to mark your 4 and your 4 there?
I have an indicator thing?
Oh.
I have an indicator thing.
I know. We've never had to do this in the games we play, but yep, you totally have an indicator thing. Okay, so I'm going to actually highlight you. There we go. So I'm highlighting, so we're all about Jules right now. So you have a 4 and a 4, and that's an 8, which is successful. The other part of that is of those 2 dice that you chose to use, the lowest of those 2 determine the degree of success. So sometimes you can succeed at something, but just barely, and other times you'll succeed and do it pretty mightily. So gifts allow you, if you notice in the character sheet, the top one it says Edge 5. So Grace, you have Petrification.
Yes.
So you're running. Let's say that you had a gift that was, I don't know, athletic, right? And let's say that gift was your Edge 5 for whatever reason. Just for this example, I love Petrification as your Edge 5. So an Edge of 5 allows you that if that makes sense, that gift makes sense within this die roll, you can swap out one of your rolls with that 5. And so that's really beneficial. If, like, let's say that you rolled a 4, a 3, and a 2 instead, you could swap out that 5 for the 3, and then 4 and 5 you'd have a 9. Okay, so that's how the edges work, and that's what it means when it says Edge 5, Edge 4, Edge 3, Edge 2. So the Edge 2 isn't really super awesome. All that really does is allow you to not have a 1 in something. So if you totally tank something, a roll of 1, say you had straight 1s, then it would mean that you did not you'll avoid total catastrophe if you swap out a 1 for with a 2. But it still means you're probably not going to be super successful unless you roll a 6, right? So that's what the Edge of 2 means. It's just something that's kind of nice to have that makes things not go terribly bad, but doesn't always make you successful. And then we're going to talk now about special needs. Special needs is the part that I don't entirely understand how levies work versus how special needs are described. And so the way a levy works is very similar to an edge. What a levy does is, let's say that you, Grace, you're still trying to run down the same corridor, and I say that for some reason you have squeaky shoes.
Yes.
And I'm saying that levy of squeaky shoes is a 2. It's horrible trying to sneak away quickly while running with the squeaky shoes.
Yeah.
So the levy works a lot like an edge. So you apply your edge, and say you applied your edge of the 5 swapping out with your 4. The levy takes your highest die and swaps it out with its value.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. So levies are pretty sucky, because what that means is your squeaky shoes of 2 will swap out with either the 5 or the 4, and then you would fail the roll.
Yeah.
The levy only applies if the levy is basically going to have an impact. So if you rolled straight 2s and you got a levy of 2, the levy doesn't apply, right, because you already failed.
Mhm.
The part about special needs as it's described in the book confuses me because it lists the levy values as a 4, a 5, and a 6. So if the levy value is 6, how are you going to swap it out? I don't understand. I posed a question to the designer, but I only know her through Google+, and she's not terribly active, so she hasn't gotten back with me yet, and that's okay. So what I'm going to propose is that we have 3 special needs, which will be a 2, a 3, and a 4. So instead of a 4, 5, and 6, it's going to be a 4, a 3, and a 2. Does that make sense to everybody?
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the 4, 5, 6 is also in reference to the inverse levies.
It is. But if you kind of follow the logic,
Yeah,
it
it's
still
weird.
doesn't make sense because
No,
an inverse levy is supposed to be a benefit, and a benefit
exactly.
of like an edge of 1 is still useless because when would you ever swap a 1 for something? You can't because you're already going to roll 1s. So, yeah, right. If we figure it out, or if I get a response back, we'll switch to whatever that is. But the only way my brain right now, and I've kind of gone over this with about 6 different people who've read through trying to help me out, I haven't gotten any other way to do it than to just say that the levies are going to have a value that are actually a penalty. But I'm not going to make them super awful because I don't want you guys to fail at everything. That's what Apocalypse Roll's for. So if there are no questions, and I know this is kind of weird because you haven't rolled dice and I'm just showing you one example. So if as we're playing, someone says, you know what would be better if we did X, feel free to suggest that and we'll work through it. It's totally okay. But that's what we're going to do for now. Is the special needs are a levy of 4, 3, and 2.
Okay.
All right, so that's how the dice work, which is the part that I kind of like because of the degrees of success and degree of failure, which you can find on page 22 and 23 if you want to look at that later. So let's get back to talking about gifts and talents. And then special needs. So the special needs description, you already have some special needs. I think we're okay with what you have.
I still need to fill it out a bit.
I don't have any yet.
Oh, okay.
Do we need to pick more than the 2?
That's what I'm checking.
I was still looking at the item, so.
Cool. All right. Well, we may get a little bit lost here, but we'll come along. We're doing great. This is
I want to be the known troublemaker.
No troublemaker.
I don't know
Yes.
if you could pull that off.
What? Fine. I'm not picking it up.
What? No, you totally should. That was a challenge, not. I wasn't putting you down. I was challenging you to be very troublesome. That's awesome.
I was going with the rebellious teen.
I know. I was right there with you. My tone.
He was the
I'm the
authority.
troublemaker.
All right. So here's the deal. You can get additional needs. Okay. You can choose up to 2 additional special needs, although you cannot have more than 3 special needs. So special needs are, a penalty because they're all levies. So feel free to choose more if you really feel inclined, but they really do make it hard to do stuff. So
That's what's cool.
I know
Yeah.
it is cool.
I
Don't
have all
whine to
3
me
now.
later. Awesome.
I'm gonna fail so much. It's gonna be fun.
Metabolically challenged. So what did you have to eat? Ghost Vera?
I think it meant
You eat.
whenever making a fitness roll to wake up being unconscious, that's what it does. An inverse edge when you are fighting off poison or disease. I don't think I'm eating that much. I sometimes go to the cafeteria with the others and I kind of
But the
pretend to be
bullet
eating.
challenge is not an eating disorder. It's you are dead. You were never
Yes.
alive in the first place.
Yeah, so I don't really think I'm eating. I'm just pretending to be eating because the other, kids are eating.
I I'm going to stop presenting Jules. I just realized I've had you as the star for the whole time. Sorry about that. I'll turn that off. Well, you did great.
That was the end of my Spotlight episode.
Hey, am I still here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Weird. Everyone's kind of just like I don't have the ability to stop presenting you.
Oh, maybe I do.
I got it. Okay. I clicked a thing that didn't work the way I thought it did. Here we go. Yay! Rich figured out mechanics of a
You did it.
Sweet. So we have gifts and talents. It looks like everybody has filled out all of their awesome gifts and talents. These are really great. I'm so excited for these. And has everyone had a chance to look at the special needs? Grace, it looks like you have no special needs whatsoever.
I'm looking at them.
Everyone is much quicker than I am, and I'm happy that I did most of the work before. And because everyone's going like, oh, and I'm like, wait, what?
Well, I'm just
wasn't
kind
doing
of
it.
I'm with you,
throwing stuff up
Jan.
against the screen and seeing what sticks, mostly. So.
Yeah, but I mean, Yona, you're still doing it faster than I am because I actually already filled in like most of my stuff, and I'm still going like, ah.
But you have stuff that I don't have, like school supplies and extracurricular. You've got stuff.
Don't fret. We are ahead of time. We're doing great. We've been at this for just a little less than an hour, and we've got 2 hours blocked out. So if we need to take a little bit longer for somebody, that's okay. As long as Andrew's okay with it. Andrea, you okay with it?
No, I think I'll give that my stamp of approval.
Yes. Stamps. Fuck. I like stamps. While people are thinking over the last bits of their special needs, we'll talk about extracurricular. So extracurricular activities, you choose several of these for your student to enjoy during the current term. You can create your own if you really have a strong inclination, but there are some super awesome ones here. So I would rather you default to these, and then if nothing fits the need for something you think would be awesome, then talk to me about it. The extracurricular activities are part of your day-to-day. Once you're out of all of your classes, you will participate in one of these. You can actually take a large number of them. I recommend like 2 or 3, right? We're playing 3 sessions, so if you want to fill them out and understand that we may not get to all of them, that's cool, but don't choose 6 and expect Rich to be able to get to all of them, because Rich won't be able to do that. All right, so they are Academic Assault Team. The high school regularly competes with other similar schools. This is good for you to know, because if you've looked ahead at the future games of this that I have scheduled, there's one called The Big Game, where you will be taking on the Adventurers Guild Academy, which is a similar. It's a high school for teaching young heroes how to loot and pillage, or poot and pillage. I don't know. You know how to loot and pillage, and so they're all like human, dwarf, elf, gnome, halfling, assholes. They all suck. And so they've got an academic assault team. They also have a Slamball team. For those who might be interested in such a thing, we have the Alchemy Club, Campus Crusade for Orcus, Cheerleading Squad, Future Wizards of the World, the Gloom Club, the Gloom Club, Adira, just saying. We have the 4-H Club, Henchmen, Hirelings, Handymen, and Housekeepers. It's popular with minions and anyone else who likes taking orders. Marching Band, Monsters Compendium. Oh, the yearbook, Monster Compendium. I love that. Oh, so great. Papers and Paychecks, RPG Guild. I cannot wait until we have a few games of that. It's going to get meta, guys. I'm just saying it's getting meta. Student Government, Student Newspaper, Swim Team, and the Undead Poets Society.
Yes, I love that. And both of them.
Do be advised that some of the extracurricular activities do have prerequisites as well. You cannot join student government if your citizenship grade is lower than a B. You have to have a Scholastic's grade of C or higher to join the student newspaper. Oh.
Yep, I'm out.
Future Wizards of the World, unite!
You're out. Outie 9,000. The academic assault team, I think, has a prerequisite. Let me check that really quick.
It's Scholastic's B or higher.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And we are good on that, Puff. Good job. I love Puff. He's like, except for the whole, he's a pothead. He's like the athlete. He's a student athlete everyone admires, but then he goes back behind the bleachers and just makes everybody sad.
I'm trying to build it to where last year it was Mr. Everything. Like the dragon at the top of the food chain, the most popular athlete
He just
and
couldn't
smart.
deal with the pressure.
And this is going to sound cocky, and I suppose it is. This is like me in high school, except better at a couple of things, but then everything
Just a couple
falls
of
apart
things,
and I get high all the time.
And you're a dragon.
Well, no, he never said he wasn't a dragon.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So I actually am not gonna. I mean, here's the thing. I put an academic assault team, but then I realized that I don't have a high enough grade, and that's going to be a thing. So I'm not on the team anymore because my grades, which used to be an A,
Nice.
have gone to pot.
Oh man, that's great.
So yeah, take that off of the list.
Cheer skirt of charisma. I love that, July. That is so great. Oh, that's so good.
So I'm looking at Prodigy still, and that means that I can take an edge by a class that I'm not in or something. I'm not. It's a bit.
Prodigy? What
Yeah.
page are you on?
54.
Okay. Prodigy. Particular talent for something without even having to be formally trained in it. Okay, you choose a class from Chapter 5. Your student gains the edge granted by that class, although not any other benefits. If you chose Woodshop, you would gain the edge for working on wooden items, but not access to the woodshop itself. Okay, that makes
Right,
sense.
so I'm not in the class, but I know how to do it. Basically.
Cool.
Okay, but then I need to look at what I was very confused at what it actually meant.
It's a little weird.
Because that obviously has to be either an occult or probably a scholastic.
Man, I'm loving these guys. They're all cool so far. The deer is hilarious. Yona, I can't wait to see you pull this one off.
Yeah.
And Grace is just awesome.
You can be like the one who goes, well, what's the use? We're all going to die anyway.
So good.
We're all in Lair Economics. That's kind of cool.
Yes. How can you not be in Lair Economics? Awesome.
Wait, how did July get in there? I thought you...
No,
Where-
I was in Lair Economics. I think I was the first one in Lair Economics.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the cheerleader teacher, right?
Yes. Totally.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Okay, anybody need any more time, or are we good to move on to the next bit?
Oh, so many bits.
I know. I warned you ahead of time, but you didn't know. You didn't believe me. You're like, oh, Rich, I'm used to your crazy indie games where we spend most of our time talking about the world. But nope, this is character creation. All right. School supplies. So we already talked about the status symbols. Any sort of basic equipment that you can easily get your hand on fall under the category of mundane equipment. But you get to create, some items that are commonly possessed by students at Wandering Monster in this gigantic. That is listed on page 72. These are things that, other than your status symbol, they're just going to give you an edge of 2. Just glance at, there's some cool ones here, you know, book bag of useful items, a reference
Ooh.
book, ninja throwing stars, because, you know.
There are so many items in there that are very hard to use if you don't have arms.
You know what? There's a lot of armism
But
going here.
that's why I picked Slamball helmet, because, you know, protection.
That's awesome.
and you only need a head, and I have one of those.
So I think you can, like, I've seen, I don't know if you guys, well, you probably haven't because you're smart. I have been forced to watch Turbo Fast, which is a show on Netflix. It's like a continuation of the Turbo movie by DreamWorks, and they're all snails, and they don't have hands, so they use their eye stalks to carry things. You could do that. Did I lose you guys?
No,
No.
we're still here.
No,
We're
I
reading.
missed the half of it. Sorry.
It's okay.
I
Short
just
version.
heard like eye stalks, and I was like,
Oh.
huh, what?
The snails have no hands, so they use their eye stalks like little hands to carry things.
Oh, yeah.
You could do that too, with your eye stalks.
Well, I was thinking of using my eye stalks as a place where I can wear braces of communication.
Nice. Totally. Wear them. They could be, yeah, eye bracers,
Yes.
eye stalk bracers to communication. That sounds awesome. Cool. I'm gonna let you guys kind of play around with it. You're making some really good progress on that. I'm gonna skip up to student goals, and I saved that for last because I really felt like it makes sense to have a little bit of a handle on who your character is before you jumped into this. Student goals are pretty neat. There are 3 different ways to handle the goals, and I want to talk to you guys about that once we discuss what they are. So, you choose 4 goals for your student. I understand that in 3 sessions, we're probably not going to be able to achieve all of them, but I really would love to at least have moments where you're striving for them, and maybe we can achieve one of them. The goals are categorized, and they're categorized around playing cards, but I don't think we're going to be using the playing cards rules, which is okay. There are 3 different ways to do this. So there are 3 types of goals. Social, which involve your student with a group of people. Like if you want to be part of a particular group or impress a group, such as cliques, extracurricular activities that are clubs or teams, teachers, or any collection of people on campus. When you choose a goal, it needs to be something that's not easily achievable. It has to be challenging for your student. Like joining the PMP role-playing guild is not hard because they'll take anyone. They want anyone who will play with them.
Hey,
Sorry,
I
Ronnie.
resemble that remark.
But impressing the PMP guild with your students' mastery of obscure rules and arcane trivia, that could be accomplished by someone new to the group. So that could be an accomplishment. So that's the social goals. Treasure goals. This is acquisition of property or wealth, whether it's literally diamonds and or it's an item with without any intrinsic value. It could be very valuable to your student. So it's a thing that you're trying to get. Relationship goals, which are different from social goals. They're one-on-one personal relationship between your student and someone else. Now, I'm wondering, do we want to have 4 goals? Let me. An achievement is something you want to do as far as a performance in school-sanctioned activities, classes, sports teams, extracurricular activities, or just the physical campus itself. Do we want to have 4 goals for each player, or do you want to come up with one main goal and we just leave it puff, just threw down a gauntlet?
Okay, my goal will be like make Puff stop following me. No.
So do you guys feel it's too much in a 3-session game to have 4 goals, or do
Yeah,
you want to have
that's
the
quite a
4
few.
goals? Yeah, it feels like a lot.
Yes.
So just think of one of those goals within that, and then we'll head towards it for each of you. think it'll help gain a little focus. This is built for more campaign play, and we're doing a mini-series. So are there particular goals that Rodney would like to achieve? The awkward nerd, member of the P&P Guild.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm thinking like I want because is promo is there a dance or something in the sessions? I don't remember.
Yes, there will be a dance.
See,
In fact, I think I renamed it after to the big dance. Sorry.
My goal is definitely to get a hot date for the big dance.
That's awesome.
Hot date.
That is awesome.
Which I guess is a relationship goal?
Yes. A one-on-one personal relationship between your student and someone else.
I want to pass my writing class. I don't think I will, but I want to.
You're riding? Like riding? Yes, awesome.
Riding track? Okay.
Oh.
Oh no, you made it the school newspaper.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah, apparently the school newspaper and the yearbook don't like each other.
Oh no. Oh no, I'm in both.
But I think just one goal. Like I think it'd be cool to have two.
Okay, that's cool.
I mean, we might not be able to finish both of them, but
how about this? Get as many of the goals as you want, but if you could bold the ones that you want us to try to focus on, or bold the one you want us to focus on, and then the other stuff we can have as a fallback. And if it's becoming more interesting as we'll switch around. I don't want it to hold us up because goals they're pretty lofty, and they're not quite as bad as coming up with a belief in burning wheel, but you got to come up with something that makes sense for your character and is achievable and isn't super easy. Yes. So it's a lot. Now here's the other part about how to accomplish the goals. There are 3 different options, and actually there are 5. Holy crap! But I'm not going to worry about those. Here's the one that I thought was interesting. Okay. So, for example, if your relationship goal is to find a date to the prom, then you could have your student take steps to meet other students and try to ask them out. And call for appropriate grade rolls, or just judge the outcome based on how well you roleplay your students' attempts. In this style of play, your progress checkboxes on your report card, which go from the progress is right underneath each of them, goes from unsatisfactory to satisfactory to outstanding. That they don't matter in the simple goals version. Now, in the complex goals version, I love this one, but I want to discuss it with you guys to make sure that we think it's doable within the time. And so in the complex, whenever you make a good faith effort in a scene to achieve your goal, you mark off one of your progress checkboxes and work your way down. But until you check off the outstanding box, your attempt at your goal will automatically fail. I kind of like it in the aspect of, like, I know that I'm going to blow it 2 times. It kind of feels like that high school thing of, like, I really tried this, and I thought this was going to work, and something awful went wrong, and you can help narrate that so it can be a soft landing. Only problem is that means you've got to have 3 scenes where you're trying to achieve that goal within 3 game sessions. I think it's doable, but it's a little tight, so I wanted to ask if everybody likes that, or if there are other options we want to explore.
That seems a little tight.
Yeah, that seems kind of rough.
Knowing us, running around all over the place.
Okay.
We don't stick to the story very well.
And I'm also going to have 1 game less to achieve my goal, so.
That's true.
I'm sorry, I have to go fishing.
You have to go fishing? That's your excuse?
Fishing? Really?
It's a tradition in my family.
Okay.
But we do.
She is from Minnesota, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fishing is a big thing up here. Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Oh, that's pretty great. You can drill a hole in the lake and go fishing. Awesome.
Yay, we get Minnesota jokes.
We're much better. Yes, we're much better at understanding like jokes about
The Midwest now.
the Midwest now.
I've been there. I've seen what they do.
Yes.
I've seen
But
their
to be
all day,
fair- but to be
24-hour
fair,
diners.
Andra is so close to Wisconsin that like she's just a wannabe Minnesotan.
Aw.
What?
I went there. I went there.
You know what? I don't have to play this game. I got other stuff I can be doing.
Where do you
Just
do your
not getting a
grocery
hot
shopping
date
again,
from.
Andrea?
Stop it. Stop
We
hurting.
made breakfast burritos for dinner today, Andrea, just because you taught us you can have
Yes.
breakfast whenever the hell you want.
That's
I'm so proud of you guys.
Sweet. Okay, so everyone has at least one goal. And I'm waiting for Grace to tell me which one's most important to her.
Oh, sorry. Become the school newspaper official illustrator, of course.
So
the
great.
other one was way more vague anyway.
Make
Oh, it's
friends.
my first year. I'm all alone. I want to make friends.
That's so great. Do you have any like art-related things?
Yeah, I have a special pencil case.
There you go. Very handy. A
Yep.
note scroll. Book to serve man. Oh, that's good.
I see that Andrea has 5 items.
Well, they go all the way down.
Yeah,
supposed
you
to
can
have
put 5 items. Just keep in mind, basically 2 are not going to do a whole super lot for you.
It's just that I noticed something like at the start of that chapter. It said like, oh, you get 3 general items, and then you also I didn't have enough time to read the entire text accurately.
Well, let's jump back to it. No, let's jump back to it. Okay. let's make sure we have it sorted so that when we start, we just jump straight in. Okay. So it is on page 71, school supplies.
Yes.
Okay. A flying carpet would be so cool.
Right.
A new student begins the game with up to 3 such items of player's choice.
Okay.
Oh.
That's okay. I will get rid of the book I can't read anyway.
That's the mundane segment.
Mostly wanted to carry it around so I looked intelligent.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, Mickey had like the best. I love that little idea. Yeah.
Oh.
So cute.
There it goes. Thank you.
Aww.
Oh.
So
Now I kind of want him back.
What?
Because you can't take a photograph of a ghost. You have to draw a picture.
So great was what we're all referring to, in case you're not looking at the Google Doc, is that one of the items in school supplies for Puff is an illustration of Adira drawn by Grace. That's awesome because it's cool.
I know.
It's really clever. Oh man, I love the Universal Hall Pass for the cheerleader. Why would she even want one? Everybody loves her with her great citizenship of A.
I have a reference book and a dictionary, and I can have everything that I need to know. Thank you very much.
He's using the voice.
I love that guy. He's so great.
He uses his words.
Sweet. I think we're pretty much done. There's one other bit about down at the sponsor or guardian signature. I'm not really worried about that. What is this idea? If you're having trouble making your goals, then you could ask somebody else to kind of create one of your character's goals.
I already said Roderick, my hive mother.
Oh yes, that's definitely your.
Yes, just I need to copy this up here. There.
I'm going to add one more goal before the next session.
Okay, that sounds great.
I need to think about it.
Yeah, me too. I need to think about it.
Yeah.
I think you should leave it at make friends because that will be really easy for certain people to exploit Jules.
Yes, I'm definitely keeping that one.
Here we go. We'll just put that
I
as
am
a
very
satisfactory.
exploitable.
Make friends unsatisfactory.
I am taking obedience as a class, so.
Oh, you're a minion?
Yes.
I couldn't take the minion class as a beholder. That felt too wrong.
Is that deminioning?
Nice. You went there.
I'm going to go there so many different ways, guys. There's so many bad monster puns I'm going to be using in this game. So just be prepared. This is a tax. It will cost you your sanity. Okay. Jan, tell us about Rodney. So I'm going to have everybody... Look, okay. Does anybody need more time? I know that Jules and Yoni, you're going to work a little bit on goals, and that's totally cool. Take some time, digest, think about it, tweak the character sheet throughout the week. I'll be peeking at it a couple times. But does anyone need anything rules-wise to help finish your character? Right.
I'm still not quite sure on the special needs, like what the ordering means, because I was trying to make my non-humanoid like a big thing because no arms.
The lowest number of your levy is the one that will hurt you the most, because what it's going to do is...
hurts more. Okay, and then I had it right the first time. Like I don't want my allergies to...
Yeah, a levy of 2 means that if it applies, it's going to take your highest die result and swap it with a 2.
Yeah. Okay, that's good, because, you know, that's what I wanted.
Cool. You got 2 non-humanoids? Wait a second. Puff, did you do away with the big bones?
Well, I didn't want to just fill it all up, but...
Well, no, I mean... So let's.
I'm still looking at that as well. Like I might fill it up with something else, but for now I have an idea of my character and.
What's the one where I said extra large? What is it?
Large bodied.
Large bodied. I'll go with that one instead of non-humanoid.
Yeah, makes more sense.
You have arms, man. Come on.
You have arms and feet. Quit biting off of the beholder.
And wings. Come on.
Yeah, wings. It's so great, wings. What kind of is this is it you see as a European style dragon or more a Chinese dragon?
European.
Cool.
Like
they definitely have arms and.
Well, what color? What color is he?
Purplish blue, like the picture.
There's a picture.
I'll link a better
Thank
picture.
you. Yay, we have pictures for everyone. Love it. Although, Grace looks a little weird in comparison to everybody else. She doesn't even have all of her fingers. Still love Modest Medusa, though. She's adorable.
Hey, I don't have any fingers.
That's true. You don't have all of her fingers either.
Wait, which one did I use? Oh, it was Marcos.
Cool. Any other mechanics that anybody needs to work out for character creation?
Not specifically right now.
Cool. Then, Jan, tell us about Rodney as we kind of come to close this one out.
Okay, so hi, I'm Rodney. I'm in the divination class and the survey of literature class and the treasure typing and Lair Economics, etc. etc. You know how it works, right? You understand. This is not very hard to understand, right? Okay. So I'm a beholder. Just like my hive mother before me, you know how that works. Come on, read your books. Read your books. And I'm actually a very active member of the Papers and Paychecks RPG guilds. But I'm also in the Future Wizards of the World and the Alchemy Club. I'm a busy beholder. Yes. What else do you need to know? I'm in my second year. I'm a sophomore.
That's awesome. And then your goal is?
My goal is to get a hot date for the big dance the end of this year.
Man, that's so great. So great. Love it. Okay. So, Yona, do you want to tell us about Adira?
After Jan? No!
Yes, you do. You're on the camera now. Tell us about Adira the Ghost.
I will still need a little bit time to, get all sorted, but first year student, kind of like the rebellious teen and pretty gloomy. It's like Jules said that, what's the point? We're all gonna die anyway. Probably even gloomier after the breakup, since, apparently there's a breakup. She's, for some reason, whenever there's trouble, she's kind of the first person the teachers always go to. Might be because she's sneaking around the hallways a lot during this classes. And her goal is to get through the writing class, somehow, survive and even pass that.
I have to ask, Adira, why is it that you broke up with Puff? Or did he break up with you? I think you broke up with him, right? It feels like it to me.
Yeah, I think he was making me less gloomy, and that was scary. So I couldn't take it anymore.
That's so great. What was the breakup speech like? I'm sorry, it's not you, it's me. I'm just too happy around you.
Yes.
That is great. Well, let's jump to the spurned lover. Mick, tell us about Puff.
Well, you see, Puff, yes. Let me get over there. Puff is a dragon. He's a junior, and he used to be a fairly popular, fairly well-balanced, both academically and socially, and oh my God, excuse me. And with sports, he was involved in all things and fairly good at all of them. And was up at the top of the food chain like dragons would be. And then he started dating this much younger ghost and completely fell head over heels in love with her. And then she broke up with him because he was making her too happy. And so he decided that maybe the way to win her back would be to completely give up on everything that mattered to him and just turn into a complete wasteoid. And so now that's mostly what he does, although some of his other friends still try to drag him back into various activities and stuff, and he still kind of likes playing Slamball because he can take his anger out on the opposition. And he's in the school newspaper now because the guidance counselor forced him to as punishment for being a formerly awesome wasteoid. And he's going to try to win Adira back somehow, maybe by becoming a gloomy person himself. Either that or he'll get over her by eventually just burning his brain completely out.
Oh, man. You guys are a great couple. Oh, that's so good. It's awesome. Okay, Andrea, tell us about July.
So July is a troll. She's only a sophomore, but she's totally a cheerleader, and she's totally in the in crowd. And she is not actually very good at common. She's taking remedial common because common is really hard, but she's really good at being social, and everybody loves her, so that's really all that matters. She actually has a whole squad of minions that pretty much do everything she says. Let's see. Her goal is to humiliate the school newspaper because she is on the yearbook team, and they really don't like the school newspaper because the school newspaper gets all uppity and they think they're popular, and they're really not. She's also on the cheerleading squad and in the student government, and I don't know what else to say.
I have to know a little bit about those minions. Are they other trolls? Are they other cheerleaders? Who were the minions?
They're so they're not cheerleaders. They're cheerleader hopefuls. They didn't make the team this year, but she sees potential, so she's coaching them a little bit, and she's promising to use her influence to get them on the team next year.
Nice. So maybe she's working on like a JV cheerleading squad, or tells them that, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Okay, cool. Stop presenting. There we go. And then last but not least, our example person, Jules, gets to tell us all about her medusa. Tell us about Grace, Jules. I'm sorry, you're muted.
Oh no, I'm muted. I did it wrong. I'm Gracie, and I just transferred in, and the year already started, so everyone already knows each other. So I really want to make friends here, because everyone's really cool. And there's a dragon. Did you see the dragon? It's awesome. And well, I already have friends, of course, because I have my snakes always with me, so that's okay. But still, I would like to make some more friends, and I would really like to become the illustrator for the school newspaper this year, and I think I'm going to get my big shot too.
That is fantastic. And you totally reminded me with your snakes thing that a total touchstone is Monsters University. Why would we not use that as a possible touchstone? So don't forget that movie when thinking about this game. So now we have our casts of students at Wandering Monsters High School. And next week, Sans, our wonderful troll cheerleader, everybody else, we will meet up and do our first session of Wandering Monsters High School. Thanks, everybody. This was great getting back together after the big trip. And Mick, thanks for joining us, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Cool. Close this out. We'll see you guys next week.